Side by side in the Wembley sunshine, two clubs whose very appearance in this final is enough to stir the memory bank. Older supporters of Arsenal will find their minds floating back 27 years to that League and Cup double of 1971. Newcastle followers with a sense of history are talking not of a double but of an alternative treble, because twice before, in 1932 and 1952, the club from the northeast have beaten the side from North London here at Wembley in the FA Cup final. Indeed, this is Arsenal's 13th final and Newcastle's 12th, 25 between them. A sort of silver jubilee. And a different sort of celebration for the Liberian Christopher Wray. The scorer of Arsenal's winning goal in the semi-final was 23 years old on Thursday and learned today that he would play because Dennis Bergkamp, of course, was ruled out yesterday. The goalkeeper and back four are all solid, dependable Englishmen. The front six include 5 players with continental flair, and 7 of the starting 11 are hopeful of playing in the World Cup. Newcastle have 3 men in England's World Cup 30, David Batty, the captain Rob Lee, and of course Alan Shearer. There's a feeling that Pistone will play at right back to mark Overmars, with Warren Barton playing in front of him. Tamiri Kitsbaya is preferred to Andreas Anderson. John Barnes is among the substitutes, but Ian Rush did not make the 16, and neither did the injured Keith Gillespie. So much attention focused for all sorts of reasons recently on Alan Shearer. And another man who's captained England, Tony Adams. Paul Durkin, our World Cup referee, is the man in charge, and on one of the warmest cup final afternoons I can remember, here's a shirt-sleeve Trevor Brooking.
I always think on cup finals it is warm. It's going to be very important as a result of that, that both sides don't squander possession unnecessarily. And from a formation point of view, Pistone is playing at right back. He is going to mark Overmars, and they're playing 4-4-2 Newcastle, the same as Arsenal.
And it's Newcastle first onto the attack in the black and white stripes. And as you can imagine, there's phenomenal support from the Geordies here. Header inside by Shearer, Ketsbaya trying to get forward. And Pistone's position means that Warren Barton will be able to play much further forward on the right-hand side. Arsene Wenger and his loyal assistant Pat Rice there, who takes a lot of credit for Arsenal's success. And for Kenny Dalglish, a chance here to redeem something of Newcastle's season, which he admits has been disappointing from a league point of view. Adams right across to Dixon. Parler's on that side as well, making a run now down the right-hand side. Anelka's in the centre waiting. This is Ray Parler, and he's forced a corner.
The strength of Arsenal is the pace of Overmars down the left-hand side. And Ray Parler, look at that strong run. Stuart Pearce just going for the one short. And it was good covering by Howie.
Arsenal have got Keown and Ray waiting for the corner. And Adams. Adams is there, but there was some pushing, climbing, says the referee.
Shay Given isn't the tallest of goalkeepers. Pretty evident in that cross there that he's going to stay on the line. Look, he starts to come, then goes back in. Bit of climbing by Adams, but that looks a dangerous outlet for Arsenal.
This is Ketsbaya, picked it up from a good header by Gary Speed. And Barton's well forward too. Ketsbaya now.
Ketsbaya just looking for that space withdrawn from Shearer. Turned Petit and Vieira well. Petit again, but scuffed the shot with his left foot.
This is Barton. Speed given away. This is now a chance for Parler to get something going for Arsenal. There he is again, Ray Parler. Christopher Ray to his left, Anelka to his right. Still Parler. Block was by Howie, and now there's a flag up for offside against Anelka.
Good start by Ray Parler. Just thought he might have released Anelka. You see him going outside him, that's the time to play it. He's come in then, got blocked out, and as it clips the defender, Anelka had drifted offside.
Ian Rush, the Wembley hero of the past, not even among the subs today. Here's Vieira now. And again, movement up front. Petit has made a long run through the centre, and that header back by Pistoni will be a corner to Arsenal. Keown and Adams are forward again. Oh, and it was Nicholas Anelka who came through the crowd.
There's no question Shergin isn't happy with those balls into the 6-yard box. Look at his position there. He comes, stops, just coming back out, Anelka, so couldn't get the power. Better for one of the central defenders to take the header, having the momentum towards goal. But that does look a slight weakness in the opening 20 minutes.
This is Shearer. Referee says play on to Arsenal, and Vieira does just that. Anelka is down the middle, Parler's out right. This is Anelka, he wants somebody in the centre now. Vieira's gone there. This is Parler, it's too long for Vieira, and it's too wide for Overmars.
It's been a good last few minutes for Arsenal. Created that chance, and again Vieira picking up the ball, breaking quickly. Present, it's just Newcastle that are having a look around and trying to reorganise.
And they're pressed right back in their own half now. It was as though Arsenal just moved up a gear, and here comes Overmars. He's in front of Pistoni. Overmars! Arsenal have scored! And it's Mark Overmars. What a season he's having. He got beyond Pistoni and slid the ball under Given. And Arsenal, the team chasing the double, are in the lead in the cup final. The through ball, it was Overmars and Pistoni, a 1-against-1. Overmars shook him off and guided the ball between Gibbon's legs.
Great ball by Petit. Pistoni was a yard caught alongside him, not behind him, and Overmars' pace. How often have we seen him get behind people and toe-end it in? Tactically, Kenny Dalglish thought he'd resolved that by playing Pistoni and Barton, but they've been caught out. And now Newcastle have to have a rethink. You just saw it coming, didn't you, the few minutes leading up to that. They missed a great chance, nearly got through it again, and on the third time, it was third time lucky.
Number 16 of the season for Mark Overmars. Very much the star of the game when Arsenal clinched the Premiership title against Everton. And he's opened the scoring now here at Wembley, and he's on the line again. But it's really Newcastle who are on the line now. That's Anelka who concedes the free kick, but he'll be feeling a lot better about that earlier miss.
What about his pace? He nearly got beyond the Newcastle defence. You know, Overmars and Anelka have added that concern about turning defences round, and that's when Arsenal then can pass it around the midfield because they've got that outlet as a worry for the opposition.
And the plan to mark Overmars with Pistoni playing on the opposite flank to where he normally operates has been unhinged.
It has, but it was a fairly basic defensive error. Rather than being behind him, he was alongside, and with Overmars, you just cannot afford to get alongside.
So Newcastle now coming from one behind. This is Lee. Batty. Shearer pulls away a bit in the centre, being marked by Tony Adams. Touched on by Warren Barton to Batty. Now Ray Parler in defence, but that's a ball in by Batty beyond Shearer, catch Byers on the far side, and it ran out.
Overmars, what about the number of goals he's scored from this position? Petit, delightful left-footed chip ball. Look, it just held up, nudge with the head, quite reminiscent of the goal at Old Trafford. How he got in just behind their defence.
Yes, he got the goal that gave Arsenal the 3 points that day, didn't he? Now he's got the one that sent Arsene Wenger and the bench into sheer delight here at Wembley. Barton intercepts for Newcastle. Do they have to change their tactics now, Trevor?
I don't think Kenny Dalglish should do it quite as early as this. Naturally, they've got Anderson on the bench, and that will be an option perhaps for the second half, but they've got to keep the ball much better. Arsenal have had a superb 10 minutes, and Newcastle have been just chasing the ball around. I think there's a few tongues at the moment that will be hanging out in the black and white shirts.
This is Pistone looking for Shearer. Adams is watchful, but his pass wasn't very good. Shearer picks it up. Speed is in the middle here, always dangerous in the air. Catch fire. Barton's in the penalty area. Catch fire.
It's a good strike. Good play from Alan Shearer. First time he's had a bit of space. Speed gets the first sort of challenge, and then he comes inside. Bit unlucky, it was straight at David Seaman. Either side, and it would have been a bit more of a problem.
But as yet in this first half, Kenny Dalglish can't be too thrilled with the Newcastle performance. Coming up to the last minute of the first half as Newcastle try to find a way through with Barton. And Tony Adams had to turn very quickly there, but he did so, and he found Vieira. And defence could become attack here for Arsenal. It still could, but Pistone gets there before Winterburn. Arsenal win it back yet again through Ray. Forward by Petit. This is Overmars. Anelka's in the middle. Parler's making his way there now. Parler is unmarked just inside him. This is Parler for Arsenal. And that could have been 2-0 on the stroke of half-time.
Well, Ray Parler's had an excellent first 45 minutes. Superb early ball from Petit again. Overmars had a quick look up, knew where everyone was, just waited for Parler to get in position. Should have done better and got it on target. And the second goal then, and I think the half-time team talk would have been a lot harder for Kenny Dalglish.
Everything that Adams has done in this first half has been full of authority. Here's Dabizas for Newcastle. Just entering stoppage time now. Pistone. Shearer starts his run now. He's between Keown and Adams. Now he's again asking the referee, Alan Shearer, but Mr. Durkin has given the play-on signal. It's quite a tussle, that, isn't it?
Neither of them were going to get the ball there anyway, and Alan Shearer backpedaling, falling into Tony Adams, trying to make it look as if he was climbing over him. I think Paul Durkin got it right. Just let it go back to David Seaman, get on with it.
Here's Ray. Needed covering that. Parler. Oh, what are Newcastle doing there? Clearing hurriedly is the answer. Now there's a foul. Ketchbire has gone down. Martin Keown, so determined in every challenge. Now, can Newcastle pull a rabbit out of the hat in injury time? Warren Barton is in the middle. Shearer has come over to this side of the pitch where Tony Adams is watching him closely. The two of them together again here. Oh, and Shearer's caught him. Shearer's caught Adams a fraction late, right in front of the assistant referee. And Mr. Durkin has gone to his book, and Alan Shearer is going to get the yellow card. He was a fraction late here.
It's frustration more than anything. Tony Adams knew he was coming. Alan Shearer started to go, never going to make contact with the ball, and in this day and age, Paul Durkin had to show the yellow card, I think, and of course the media and everyone has been waiting for just such a challenge after the week or two he's had.
And at that very moment, the referee blows for half-time. One or two Newcastle players going up to Mr. Durkin here as he leaves the field. Rob Lee makes a protest as captain, but Mark Overmars is the man who stamped his name on the first half with the goal. 23 minutes, and it really reflects Arsenal's superiority. Newcastle have found it hard to get into the Arsenal half, never mind into the match. And as Shearer gets jeered off the pitch by the Arsenal supporters for that last challenge, the team who are pursuing the second double in their history have the advantage halfway through the FA Cup final. Sitting very close to me in the commentary cubicles here is Malcolm MacDonald, who played for Newcastle in their last FA Cup final in 1974 when they were so overwhelmed by Liverpool. And I have to say that on the first half performance, Newcastle weren't a lot better today. They'll be looking for considerable improvement in the second half. There are no substitutes. This is Pistoni. Now Lee. Warren Barton with Pistoni making strides down that side. This is Alan Shearer, this is Pistoni. Speed is in the middle with Shearer. Oh dear me. Pistoni's distribution, I think, is best left at the moment with Alan Shearer's expression.
It gets exactly the right position. Good header from Shearer. Goes back into the penalty area, looking to receive it, and that is dreadful. I mean, they've got Steve Watson on the bench, and you know, he's a good attacking right flank player. Just wonder whether that's an option as well as Anderson as a striker.
This is Vieira. Now it's Dixon. Ray with Parler making a forward run on this flank. Took two Newcastle players with him. That's a mistake by Vieira. This is a possibility for Shearer. He's got Barton to his right and Speed to his left. Foraging alone at the moment, Alan Shearer. And outnumbered effectively by Arsenal. And now Petit, as the ball was won in midfield. Parler. Now that's an offside. Yes, he went a bit early, Nicholas Anelka. Face of John Barnes, who's figured in quite a few cup finals. Possible substitute for Newcastle. This is Parler. Oh, he did well, and he went past De Bizas, really. And that's going to be another caution. Paul Durkin very busy here. Petit and Overmars around the ball. Martin Keown has come up on our near side. And Overmars picking up from Petit. Oh, Newcastle needed those players in the box. Ray was hovering, so was Anelka. And now, oh, it's another trip. This time Emmanuel Petit on David Batty. Succession of incidents of a very similar nature. And Alan Shearer is offside. Just seems that players have come out for the second half, determined perhaps to do a bit more on the ball, and they're getting checked or tripped as they take opponents on.
Just as the ball is knocked forward, you can see Alan Shearer making his run. Close, wasn't it, on the point of contact? I think it would have cleared him the ball. He had to catch it anyway. Whether he could have chested it down, I doubt it.
Vieira. In came Batty. Away by Winterburn. Petit couldn't get there. This is Shearer. Now Batty again. Barton to Lee. And still Rob Lee. Free kick to Newcastle. Not far. Well, a few yards outside the penalty area. This is promising.
Stuart Pearce has just moved the ball 5 yards further forward. Paul Durkin spotted it. I thought Stuart Pearce was going to edge it forward enough for him to think about a shot, and Paul Durkin just enjoying a joke with him about the idea.
He still could try a shot from that angle with his left foot, couldn't he? Howie in the middle of the penalty area now. Shearer jostling. Pearce, deflection. And from Arsenal's point of view, the danger is not over. This is De Bizas. Oh, and he's taken a tumble here. Tony Adams. This is a better spell for Newcastle. In fact, it's their best spell. It's indirect, but they're lining up in the centre for Rob Lee to take it. Shearer's there. De Bizas, Howie and Speed. Oh, and at the back post it was. De Bizas. That was the best we've seen from Newcastle. He hit the bar. The Greek international from Lee's free kick. De Bizas climbing, and it clips the crossbar. Winterburn was on the line. And at that moment, Arsenal are to make a change. Christopher Ray is going off. And on comes David Platt, the former England captain, who's never played in an FA Cup final until now. More conviction about Newcastle these last 10 minutes, but here's Vieira for Arsenal. Important challenge by De Bizas, how he was able to cover. Vieira pesters him still. Free kick to Newcastle. Pistone. Lee. This is Batty. Speed. Oh, it's a mistake by Martin Keown, and Shearer's in for Newcastle. He's hit the post. Oh, it's hit the post and come back out from Alan Shearer. And what a let-off for Martin Keown.
Well, that's amazing, isn't it? Just perhaps it's the hot sunshine. Players beginning to feel a bit lethargic and tired. That was a very basic error by Martin Keown. Shearer pounced in it on his left foot. Everyone assumed it was going to be a goal. Back off the inside of the post, Seaman beaten.
Here come Arsenal. Bit shaken by that, surely. It's a lofted ball trying to pick out Overmars, but Newcastle now in the space of 3 minutes have hit the bar and hit the post. And this was the England centre-forward against the England goalkeeper after a mistake by the England centre-half. And it comes out again. Dead unlucky, Shearer. If you beat Seaman from there, you'd expect a score.
He hits it well on his left foot. I do believe it. If it had been his right, it would have been a goal, but hit it well enough. Beat Seaman, just dragged it off the inside of the post.
Now we've got a cup final. Here's Parler, looking for Anelka. Oh, the flag stays down. Can Anelka take it on from here? Nicholas Anelka! Oh, Arsenal have got 2-0. Is that going to clinch the double? He's gone so far away from the other players, they haven't got there to congratulate him yet. Nicholas Anelka beats the offside trap here. The flag stayed down, he took it away, he took it on, and he fired it beyond Shay Given. And with 21 minutes to go, it's Arsenal 2, Newcastle 0.
Howie, the wrong side of Anelka. De Bizas moving up to play the offside. There's 4 at the back against 1. He gets a clear run on goal, tucks it away into the corner superbly.
Celebrations on the Arsenal bench. And Arsenal are away again. It's Ray Parler right through the centre. Oh, he's been brought down. It's Steve Howe. What's going to happen here? What is Paul Durkin going to do? It's yellow. It's yellow for Steve Howe.
Well, I have to say it's a red card decision, this, because Ray Parler, there's no way he's going to get caught by De Bizas, who's alongside, but he's 2 or 3 yards adrift of him. He's going on his right foot. He's clipped his heel. It's an unlucky decision, but I think he had to be a red card in the current climate, but he's got away with it, and so let's see if they can make the most of the free kick.
Petit with his left foot looks as though he might fancy this. Overmars is there as well. There's a man on the line. David Platt's gone running into the 6-yard box. He can't be offside. And now Vieira's gone forward, and that's Petit! What a dramatic few minutes here. Shearer hits the post for Newcastle. Arsenal score through Anelka, and then threaten to score again. And for him, I'm not quite sure where Newcastle go at the moment, and neither are they. David Batty. Anderson starts to make a run now. Shearer on this side is being marked by Keown. That was Shearer's header, and look at that again from Tony Adams. The man is a colossus. There's no other word for it. Warren Barton has gone to the far side. He's the man who's going to be replaced by Steve Watson, who some people thought might have been in the starting lineup.
Well, he's very quick, and I thought he might be the natural right footer to deal with Overmars, but because we all know now it was Pistone who struggled, I thought, on that side.
And then it doubled up with Barton, and I think that yellow card and that tackle just now decided it might be opportune to take off Warren Barton in case he got a second yellow card against Overmars.
Watson gets his first touch now. It breaks down for Newcastle. Arsenal have Parler here, first time ball on. It caught Petit though, coming forward, he's got to get back now. Ray Parler, look at that again. Trying to set Anelka free, and Shea Gibbon comes all the way.
Did very well, Shea Gibbon, because he was right on the edge of the penalty and needed to be, because it was a delightful ball again from Parler. The pace of Anelka, look, he starts his run. I mean, he just destroys them over 20 yards, and fortunate that Gibbon was there.
Winterburn playing it into that space, which is now being occupied by Watson for Newcastle. Now it's Patty. Pistoni. Challenged by Parler. My candidate for man of the match, Ray Parler. But Adams would push him very close, I think, in anybody's judgment. Batty. This is Lee. Possibilities here perhaps for Newcastle. And again the Arsenal tackling and shutting down is... Oh, here's Anelka on the break. Platt's coming to join him now. Can he pull it back, Nicholas Anelka? Parler! 1 minute Parler was diving in defence, where the tackling and the covering has been quite outstanding by Arsenal. The next second, Trevor, he's in the attack, having a shot at goal.
Anelka did great. His pace causing Pistoni problems, held it up, couldn't quite keep the shot down.
Shearer waits with Anders Anderson. Catch fire! Oh, there's a chance here. Is he offside? Alan Shearer. No, he wasn't. There was no flag. What a chance. It's a corner, I think.
Alan Shearer definitely thought he was offside. He hesitated just sufficiently. Look, the ricochet comes in. He is offside, there's no question. Gets it under control, waits, and it was Nigel Winterburn who came in. It would have been a bad decision because he should have been flagged off. But well done, Nigel Winterburn.
Great challenge, wasn't it? Corner to be taken by Rob Lee. Howie is up there. So is De Bizas here. Oh, Shearer wanted it. Hit it. Comes back to Watson for Newcastle. This could be their last throw. That's another foul on the edge of the area. Free kick to Newcastle. Over on the far side, Ketsbar is going off to make way for John Barnes. What can Speed or Shearer do? It's Shearer! It's not gone his way today. A litany of second-half incidents. He hit the post. He had the moment just then when he thought he was offside and was caught by Winterburn when perhaps he might have scored, and now he fires the free kick some way wide, and he's been booked as well. This is David Platt for Arsenal, trying to get Anelka through again. Oh, it needed a challenge, and it got one from De Bizas. This is Dixon. And now Parler, trying to... Oh, he's got them both beaten, Ray Parler! Oh, he's hit the outside of the goal. There was nowhere for him to go, but he almost found a gap.
Well, Pistoni's claim in his shirt was pulled, but I mean, this is sheer aggression. I think there was a little bit there, but he was the one who wanted it more, and no one up with him, so he went for glory at a tight angle, just ended up in the side netting.
But here's Anderson again for Newcastle. And De Bizas is in the centre. David Seaman lets it go.
Once again, the final will just quite often letting Newcastle down. Anderson moving out to the right well, and then just over-hitting the cross, and Seaman covering it comfortably. I think no one could begrudge Arsenal the double because they've played superbly
That's Overmars! Goodness me, he hit that from just inside the Newcastle half. You were saying, Trevor?
Given quite relieved. See that one not go over his head. But I think 2 goals is about right. Newcastle did have that 10-minute spell, but they haven't passed the ball well enough, shown enough flair, shown enough positive thoughts about going forward and supporting Alan Shearer, and I think it just shows you the golf they've got to make up, I think, next year in the Premiership.
Here's Andreas Andersen in the last few minutes. Here's Batty. Andersen sets it up. Gary Speed. Well, they've had their chances, you know, in the second half. They really have.
It's a bad miss. Gary Speed on his left foot, his favoured foot, across the face of the goal. I mean, he wasn't under pressure. Just knocked by Anderson square, and everyone dives in to try and block it. Look at the commitment by the defence, but he's dragged the shot anyway.
Yes, commitment is a big word in Arsenal's vocabulary, and it's shown in the second half here. The agony for Kenny Dalglish. Ecstasy not far away for Arsenal now. They're screaming for the final whistle, the Arsenal fans. This is Patrick Vieira trying to bring the ball out. Doesn't really succeed. Newcastle still having a bit of a say at the end. Rob Lee, if it is the end. And it might be now, because we're in stoppage time at Wembley. And Arsenal are within seconds of winning the League and Cup double and emulating the 1971 team. Look at those scenes. They'll be asking Paul Durkin how much he's going to add on. Gilles Grimondi there on the far side may get a taste of the action. This is Speed. And now it's Barnes. Volleyed away as Overmars tries to close in on the far side. Header back was safe. Second minute of stoppage time. Forward for Alan Shearer. Speed is backing him up here. Barnes joining Shearer in the centre. Anderson's there as well. Header out. And there it is! Arsenal of 1998 have matched their predecessors of 1971. They have won the League and Cup double with a mixture of continental flair and English dependability. The North London Cup equals the achievement of Manchester United. They've won the double twice. Overmars in the first half, Anelka in the second half have left Newcastle crestfallen. And Ray Parlour, a strong candidate for man of the match. Arsene Wenger, no question about it, the manager of the season.
Well, it's a marvellous effort, really. I mean, Dennis Bergkamp must feel frustrated having watched on the sidelines, but Patrick Vieira, young Anelka, what a future he's got in front of him. Scoring in a cup final. I wonder how many times he might do that in the future. This Arsenal team now, where do they go? How do they improve on doing the double? But it's been a marvellous performance, and as I say, I don't think any other supporter will begrudge them, because this time they've done it in style and thoroughly deserved it.
Well, Arsene Wenger, who came from Japan to manage Arsenal, but obviously with the French background, as indeed have several of his players. And there's Ian Wright, who didn't on the day get into the action, but the expression on his face tells you that he played his part in League and Cup earlier in the season. And David Dein, the Arsenal vice-chairman who brought Arsene Wenger, is mainly his influence across to manage the club. So Rob Lee, a Londoner himself by birth, indeed, his father until recently lived next door to Tony Adams, so he'll appreciate what this means to his opposite number. But for the moment, Rob Lee leads up the losers of Newcastle United, whose disappointing season ends in more misery here. But a generous round of applause from Sir John Hall and the Newcastle supporters nonetheless. Alan Shearer's expression tells its own story. Here come the double winners. It was not so long ago, on his own admission, that the Arsenal captain, Tony Adams, was looking at life through the bottom of a glass. He's now looking at it from on top of the football world. What an achievement this is. And what a moment this is. For everybody connected with Arsenal. The rehabilitation of Tony Adams has mirrored the regeneration of Arsenal. They've won the double again. Mark Overmars, whose goals proved so priceless in the decisive league match, or matches really, against Manchester United and Everton, and again today. Arsene Wenger able to get his hands on the trophy himself, and rightly so. Another totally committed Arsenal performance. They have emulated their predecessors of 1971, and now, along with Manchester United, they have the proud record of having won the double twice.
Yeah, it was tough out there today, very warm. I give Alan Shearer a little bit of a sniff at the goal. I was lucky to get out of trouble, but all in all, I thought you know, we were the strongest team. Our pace on the break, we always felt that was going to be dangerous, and proved right today.
Can you put into words what winning the double means to a professional footballer?
Well, it's incredible, really. You know, all respect to the 71 side, incredible achievement, and we felt we'd never match it, but we know what's involved. And we're very proud that we've been able to go alongside them.
Well, I wasn't born in 71, so a lot of people said about that, and it's been going for years now, so it's nice to get another team for Arsenal to do it, you know, and the lads really deserve it.
What's the major factor in this Arsenal success story?
I think it's just togetherness. The French lads are fitting in really well, good blend in the team, and just will to win, really. We all want to win so badly, and as you can